Costa Rica in January, what you need to know and bring. Hi, I'm Teresa. A few years ago, I joined a group of friends in creating a conscious community in Costa Rica. Join us on the adventure. Well, January is one of the absolute favorite months for people to come to Costa Rica because it is Costa Rica dry season. The weather is absolutely perfect, and it's very unlikely you'll get a single rain shower while you're here. Maybe a bit of scattered cloud like what you're seeing here, but generally your weather's going to be spectacular. So what do you need to know if you're visiting in January? Well, January is going to be the start of tourist season, so the lineups will be a little bit longer. You do want to make sure you book ahead, and you want to just make sure you have your trip planned well, because a lot of places will be full up. It is not yet absolute peak tourist season though, which is February and March for Costa Rica. So it is a nice time to come because you will have a little bit more individual attention and your lineups won't be quite as long at a lot of the tourist attractions. One thing to think about in Costa Rica all year is if you're down in the beach areas, there is a higher amount of petty theft, just like there is in tourist areas all over the world. So really be careful to mind your iPhone, mind your purse, mind your wallet. I think that's good advice no matter where you're visiting in the world. Oh, steep hill, hot day. Let me take a deep breath. So the other thing you want to think about in January is where do you want to stay in Costa Rica? One of the reasons that we created our conscious community, Vista Mundo, in the mountains is the weather is always a lot nicer in the mountains year-round in Costa Rica from a standpoint of indoor-outdoor living. In January, you're going to get some pretty severe temperatures down in the beach areas in the afternoon. So a lot of people actually recommend stay up in the mountains, visit the beach. Now, I know that's counterintuitive to a lot of people because you think you want to go to the tropics, you want that beach vacation. But when you're up in the mountains, you don't need to retreat indoors at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon and crank the air conditioning up because it's just so freaking hot outside, and you really get the full value of the entire day. You do want to make sure you wear sunscreen. Yes, we are a sunny climate, especially up here in the mountains. The UV is a little higher if you're at higher elevations because, of course, there's less atmosphere above you to sort of attenuate that UV, so you just want to be a little bit more cautious, right? Bring bug spray if you're someone bugs normally bother. I never wear bug spray. They just never bother me here. But if you're someone who, wherever you go, bugs are always biting you, bring your bug spray. Or you can buy it here. It's pretty easy to get sunscreen and bug spray here. Many of the outdoor tourist attractions like the national parks or places you might want to go bird watching or waterfalls you might want to visit, they're going to be a lot nicer earlier in the day. Wildlife is a lot more active in the day. You get to see a lot more birds. You're more likely to see monkeys. So it's a good idea to just plan your itinerary with your outdoor activities being earlier in the day, early in the morning. And if you're planning indoor activities like going to see a museum or something like that, and there's a lot of really cool ones in Costa Rica, then plan those activities for into the afternoon. If you're in the more touristy areas, you can spend US dollars if you're an American coming down. If you're Canadian and you're wondering what currency to bring, colones generally are better. If you're spending US dollars, they will charge you a little bit more. If you pay in colones, you usually get a slightly better price. So if you are exchanging your money anyway because you're not an American, I do recommend that you change it into colones. If you're an American though, bringing US dollars is just fine if you're in the tourist areas. If you're up here in the mountains or planning to be somewhere more off the beaten path, US dollars can be a little bit problematic. A lot of the merchants won't take them, but just about everybody takes credit cards, so you're probably fine either way. Make sure if you're booking hotels or Airbnb that you ask your host for good suggestions on routes to get there or things to see along the way. They're going to be a wealth of information for you. If you're visiting us here at Vista Mundo Retreat Center, we've got just dozens of local attractions in the area you can check out on our website. So feel free to use that as a resource if you're visiting us or anywhere in the Central Valley. And I hope you have a great trip. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.